Hey everybody, I just want to take a quick minute and share my story. Maybe you could share yours. As a kid, I grew up in a I wouldn't say a religious family, but I grew up definitely in a church-going family. Our family went to church just about every time the doors were open for youth groups, Sunday school, vacation, Bible school, kid group, whatever, you name it, we were there. And I can't tell you how many times as a kid I heard somebody share, the importance of inviting Jesus into your heart. And I remember praying numerous times as a kid to invite Jesus into my heart. That's just what you did when you're part of the church Jesus bubble. That's what we did as kids. We just invited Jesus into our heart, and I did that so many times out of fear or out of whatever reason, to get another candy bar for vacation Bible school, whatever it was. I did that many times. But when I was in 8th grade, again, being part of the church culture that I went to church camp. And things were just a little different in my understanding. They had a great engaging speaker that was speaking to us 8th graders in a way that finally the kind of a spiritual light bulb went on. Not only was had Jesus gone to the cross to pay for the sins of the world, like, I understood even as a, 2nd grader, but as an 8th grader, I understood that, Jesus went to the cross not just for the sins of the world, he went to the cross for my sin. It was my sin that caused a separation between me and an almighty God who loves me. It was my sins that needed to be paid for and punished on the cross. And it was because of my sin that Jesus hung on the cross and paid that penalty. And I understood that for the first time, and then I responded to that love by reaching out and saying, God, I want you to forgive me of my sin, and I want you to lead my life from here on out. And that's what I did. I prayed to ask him to be the leader of my life, and that was a defining moment for me, because my life began to be changed. It wasn't very long before my new faith was challenged very strongly with a traumatic dune buggy accident that I was in. I remember laying in the back of that van, blood everywhere, and I remember how just ticked off I was at God for allowing me to go through this pain, even after I had just given my life to him. I was thinking, if this is how you treat those that are in your family, God, I'm not quite sure I want to be part of this. So I remember laying in that hospital and several weeks to follow, how there was a lot of soul searching. And even as an 8th grader, I began to understand, I can either trust this life storm, this dune buggy accident, and allow it to define my destiny for me and my path in life, or I can trust an almighty God that I might not understand, but I do understand he loves me and he cares for me. So not really understanding in the midst of the storm why the storm was there, I chose to follow Jesus with my life. And he has made such a difference in my life. And there have been many times in my life where I've had these what the heck God, moments where I'm going through a storm, and he quickly reminds me, you know what? I still love you. I'm still God. I'm in control. And I continue to put my trust in him. In addition to that, he has given me so much purpose and so much meaning in my life that I would never do anything different. I am so grateful for that 8th grade epiphany that I had when I surrendered my life to Jesus. Well, that's my story. What's yours?